Hey there, Careblazer. Welcome back to this week's video on dementia. A common question that I have received is, should you be reminding your loved one they have dementia? I totally get where many of you are coming from with this question. In today's video, I'm going to answer it and give you some information about how you can determine whether telling your loved one or reminding your loved one they have dementia is a good idea or not. If this is your first time to Careblazers TV, where have you been? I'm Dr. Natalie. I'm a board-certified geropsychologist, and this is the place where we talk about everything dementia. We'd love to have you join the Careblazer family. All you have to do is hit that red subscribe button on your screen. It's completely free, and be sure to download your own personal copy of the Careblazer Survival Guide, filled with tips, tricks, and information to help you along your caregiving journey. What is the reason that you want to remind your loved one they have dementia? What's the goal that you're hoping to accomplish? Is it because you want your loved one to stop resisting your help, and by reminding them you hope they might be able to understand why they need help? Is it because you hope your loved one will stop arguing with you every time you try to manage their safety and explain to them why they may no longer be able to cook or drive or manage the finances on their own? Or maybe it's because you want them to appreciate you a bit more and give you some recognition for all the time and sacrifice and dedication that you're actually giving to your loved one with dementia. If your goal in reminding your loved one they have dementia is to somehow change your loved one's behavior or change your loved one's approach, then for most people it is not a good idea to remind your loved one they have dementia. There are other more subtle, more successful ways of accomplishing your goal of changing their behavior or changing their approach to you that do not involve simply reminding your loved one they have dementia. The problem with the approach of reminding your loved one they have dementia is that it often backfires. You're trying to remind them in an effort to get more appreciation or understanding, or have them be less argumentative with you or more accepting of your health, or more accepting of your help. But in reality, what it ends up doing is it makes your loved one more resentful of you. It might make them a little suspicious of you, and it's going to likely lead to some more arguments. Now, essentially what you're doing when you're reminding your loved one they have dementia is you're reminding them that they are no longer able to do a lot of the things that they want to do, that they require a lot of help for basic things that they would love to be able to do on their own, and for many of them might still believe they can do on their own. And you're essentially telling them that, hey, you have a condition where there's no cure, it's gonna get worse, and this is why you need all of my help. I don't really know anybody who's gonna feel better after hearing all of that. So in many cases, reminding your loved one they have dementia is likely just going to make them feel worse or feel sad about themselves. It's likely going to lead to more arguments or resentment from your loved one to you. And it's likely not going to do very much because your loved one might have memory impairment to the point that they're going to forget the information you just told them anyway. Now, I want to be clear. This video is not talking about your loved one getting the initial diagnosis of dementia. I fully support and understand and believe that for the majority of people getting that initial diagnosis of dementia, the provider should be talking to that person with dementia. They should be including family members, should allow opportunity for questions, should allow opportunity to process that information, and even for family and close friends to help process that information with the person who has dementia, even days and weeks after that initial diagnosis. There is a huge benefit to that, especially in those initial phases, initial stages. What this video is talking about is the desire to want to remind your loved one they have dementia because they are doing something that makes your caregiving situation harder. You want them to understand they have dementia and that they require your help, or that they shouldn't resist your help, or that they should be a bit more appreciative. That's what this video is about. And in those situations, the majority of the time, even though not all situations are the same, reminding your loved one they have dementia actually backfires and makes your situation much worse. So here's something you can do. Rather than reminding your loved one they have dementia in an effort to accomplish your goal, you can accomplish your goal in another way. And here are some examples. So for example, your mom with dementia who's no longer safe to cook wants to use the stove to cook dinner. Don't say, "Mom, you can't cook anymore. Remember, you have dementia and the doctor said it's not safe." Instead, you can consider saying something like, "Mom, let's order some takeout from our favorite restaurant." Or, "Actually, I want to treat you to a meal. You've done so much already. Sit back and relax. Let me take care of this." Or, "Let's cook together. Can you help me set the table? Here are some napkins to set out." And then continue focus on giving her safe tasks to do to prepare for dinner. So the goal here was to stop your mom from using the stove to cook a potentially dangerous situation. But instead of reminding her she couldn't do that because of her dementia, you found other ways to accomplish your goal without that reminder. This is going to reduce the chances that your loved one's going to become upset, frustrated, and angry. Now let's go over another example. In this example, your dad wants to mow the yard, which is dangerous since he has trouble walking and can't remember how to work the lawnmower correctly. Don't say, "Dad, it's not safe for you to mow the lawn. Remember what the doctor said about your dementia?" Instead, consider saying something like, "I think it's supposed to rain later. Let's hold off on doing that right now." Or, "Actually, the neighbor's kid wants to mow the lawn to raise some money. It will be good for him to learn. Can you help me blank instead?" And then in that blank, you can insert any idea based on what you know about their interests. Ask them to help you sort magazines, match socks, sort coins. Possibilities are endless. Can you see based on these examples how the initial way of reminding your loved one they have dementia is more likely to lead to anger, resentment, frustration, and arguments, whereas the other way is more likely to accomplish the goal without making your loved one feel bad that they can't actually do that goal anymore? What do you think, Careblazer? Does this make sense to you? I know that every situation is different and you might need to come up with different ways of responding that matches your loved one's personality and matches the situation, but I do hope this gets your gears turning a little bit. In some cases, you might want to consult with your loved one's healthcare team, whether it's a psychologist or social worker or their physician, to help come up with ideas and try to respond in the best way possible to some of your loved one's desires, maybe to do things that aren't so safe. Let me know in the comments below whether you remind your loved one if they have dementia and if you plan to continue doing so after watching this video. Now, if you haven't already supported Careblazers, I would really appreciate it. It would warm my heart and mean so much to me. There's a link below this video. It's to my Patreon site, and it's basically a site where Careblazers who find my work helpful and want to support it and want to continue seeing me do this work can pledge $1 a month to show a sign of support. It really does mean a lot, and I would be forever grateful. All right, Careblazers, I will be back next week. Until then, bye. Or many are out.